Yeah, sorry.
A little preemptive before the disclaimer. Sorry.
For like 30 seconds.
What?
Boogity,
What,
boogity,
30 seconds?
boogity.
Audio only? Pre-audio?
Somebody said a joke. One time, Jeremy walked across the street. There you go.
Yeah.
So this one time
One
in
time-
2016, Hank gives me a call and says, "Hey, chef, what are you doing with your life?"
What are you doing with your life?
There's one time in band camp.
Woo! Is this audio on here?
Yeah, no, we're live now, Hank.
live now,
What's
dude.
up?
Catch up
What's
with it.
up? What's up? We are the Beer, Sports, and Shenanigans show. I am your host, Ryan Cyrus Marsh. And just real quick, I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer here. We are four well-lubricated dudes.
Four well-lubricated
Lubricated,
Hey, I'm
as
sure
you
you
can
can say
tell
that.
right here.
I'm not sure you can say that on TV.
And we're sitting here talking sports at a bar. So please keep that in mind. This will be unfiltered and uncensored with an emphasis on uncensored.
As it always is, damn it.
Yeah, and that's important to note if you take offense to the type of passionate analysis and banter that lies ahead on this
The
show.
idea is to seem a little bit like we're just four dudes hanging out at a bar.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
I think we are.
if like I said, if you take offense to that sort of thing, please you might want to.
Earmuffs.
Yeah,
Earmuffs.
we might not be the daily awesomeness you're looking forward to today.
I
The thing
So-
is we are. They just don't know it.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe give us
It
a try. Maybe don't. I don't really care.
Mm.
So introductions are in order. We are at the Exchange. This is a great bar and establishment here in the great city of Corpus Christi, Texas. For those of you that don't know, the sparkling city by the sea. This is episode 19.
Episode 19.
Wow, I can't believe we're on episode 19, boys. Holy shit.
Look,
That's
it's
almost
our,
half a year.
it's our zombie baker coming out of her hole.
Oh,
Yay,
wow.
zombie bacon.
It's Father's Day weekend, so our zombie baker has been
So-
working many hours in a row making cookies. So happy
All
Father's
right.
Day out there, everybody, tomorrow.
Shoot. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We're gonna
This will
remember
be my third Father's Day as a father.
Woo-hoo!
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right. How about
Yeah,
that?
buddy. It'll be my 44th in a row as not being involved.
Hey, congratulations,
Hey, thank
buddy.
you, man. It's a goal
Are
I've
you
been
sure
trying
that's
to
not
achieve.
more like 64? But I
Eat a
don't know.
dick.
that. Damn.
Real
so
quick, I think the introductions are in order, boys. To my left, this is my esteemed counsel. To my left is Bob. Stay tuned for my horrible and most likely offensive joke at the end of the show, Essenbacher.
Wow, getting better on the name.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Getting closer. Getting closer.
And next to him is Chef. Don't cook no phony baloney Tony.
What's up, baby? How we doing today?
Don't cook no phony baloney Tony. That's
And
good.
Hank, I print teas, I drink Shiner Black, and I know things. Harrison.
And I know things, yeah. I fucking hate
Never
Shiner
drink
Black.
Shiner
Please don't
Black.
ever
No,
drink
he
Shiner
loves
Black.
Shiner Black. I saw him drink one earlier.
Love it
I
so
saw his
much.
bumper sticker.
God.
It says Shiner Black drives me. I don't know.
Drives me
Drives me
whack.
back.
Drive.
Drives me back.
I lost that
I'm not
one,
drinking
but
shit. I'm not drinking that.
I
Anyway.
saw you
Never
drink
again.
one earlier, and it was funny.
This is true.
Anyway, first segment on deck for us today is a championship week. We got a lot to talk about. This last week, I think we can call it championship
It
week
is championship
because
week.
there were two people crowned in two different leagues, two teams. I'm sorry,
Yeah, not
and
people.
I think we should kick it off with the NBA. Toronto,
Yeah, it
Toronto.
Was, it was
I
Toronto,
like it.
wasn't it?
Toronto and
What's
Kawhi.
It was Kawhi Leonard.
I heard Toronto won, and
Yeah, I think all of Canada has delved down.
Finals MVP.
They-
well, you know, I mean, I think worth every bit of it. You know, I mean, I think. It's,
Oh, yeah.
It's, so I mean, when you really get down to it, I mean, we're looking at a comparison of two different teams. You know, one Golden State. They've been on a 5-year run, man. I mean, this is a team that
That's
has
crazy.
been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, running in the red for a long time. And so, at least the way I distilled this, I saw an absolutely exhausted team. Hey, Jack. By the way, am I looking that way? Am I looking that way? Am I looking that way?
You're looking at that
Maybe
one.
if you point, whatever. Yeah, that way. All right. Yeah. So
Oh, by the way, real quick, I
Perfect.
forgot
Thank
to
you, Jack. We
introduce
forgot Jack.
J Rock and his esteemed intern Jack.
yeah,
yeah,
co-producer, there we go. Junior producer.
yeah.
Yeah.
I call him his valet.
Right. His valet.
Ballet.
His
So
valet
anyway-
Jack.
So anyway, so I'm going to bring
Keep
this
the
camera
lights
in. I'm
on,
going to get all
boys.
intimate with this one. So if I saw anything, I saw a powerful Golden State Warriors team that was going into game 5 and then game 6, both times on a little bit of a limp. Obviously, Kevin Durant came in game 5. I mean, everybody's going to remember that moment for a long time because we're going to spend the next year wondering where Kevin Durant is and how
Yeah.
well he's recovered. I think that
That
Golden
was tough to watch.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing. So in game 5, Kevin Durant goes down, and you're looking at basically the Splash Bros just taking that game over. I mean, you got Draymond Green obviously doing his part too, but I mean, a team that knew how to operate without that star, they knew how to play that game, and they came back and they won that game.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so what do you see next
How do you,
week?
after you see KD go down and like a guy that's like your brother and like I mean, he was having a good game too. What was it, 11
He was.
points, 11 minutes or something like that?
He was.
I
He was
mean,
having a good game, and
Yeah, it was awesome.
I mean, you could tell a difference in the team with KD in the lineup. You could see that looked like they were going to win that game.
yeah.
And even when he went out, like it just looked like there was no Golden State wasn't going to lose that game. I didn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't see it.
I mean, well, it was almost
And boo on you, Toronto, for
the fans
booing
booing
for
him.
booing
Man,
KD.
That was
Or
bullshit.
Yeah, for cheering KD
down.
when
Yeah,
he's got a
cheering when
blown Achilles.
Yeah,
I
Well,
mean,
it
so
was
here you
pretty
go
bad.
though. I'll give him credit for something. After he stood up and after he started moving around, they gave him a classy, genuine standing ovation.
some of them did.
Some
yes,
of them
yes.
did, but here I'll tell you what.
That's every fan base. You're gonna have your assholes. But
Yeah, exactly. But here, I'll tell you what though. The Golden State Warriors galvanized around Kevin Durant going down because I think that they were able to fall back into the scheme that they were playing with before. So they were getting back into a rhythm that they had developed over the
Exactly.
last few. I mean, with Kevin Durant, they're 9-1 in the finals. You know, I mean, that's a big deal, man. And then he goes down. And
undeniable.
And then you fall back on what? The Splash Brothers. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry put together so many damn points. I mean, Klay Thompson had, like 9 threes or something that game?
Yeah, he was
8 of
lighting it
12
up.
shooting. Yeah,
Yeah.
30
And then-
points before he went down.
Yeah, and then well, I'm saying
And he
then
still-
That was game six.
That was game 5,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then game
Sorry.
6. So what happens in game 6, right? They go in there and they're looking like they're about to tear the shit up with the same Splash Brothers strategy they've been playing before.
Yeah, the mentality was there.
Draymond Green is basically just swinging his hips around, knocking motherfuckers out of the.
Hey, that's
I mean,
old school Dre
I'm
right
telling
there.
you, man. I mean, like this is serious full contact basketball that Draymond Green is throwing down, and then all of a sudden, what up, Scott? Oh, nice. Yeah. What's up, guys?
Scotty.
and then all of a sudden you see Klay Thompson go down. When Klay went down, I mean, man, he fell funny. He got fouled by Danny Green. I mean, it wasn't. I'm not trying to blame this on Danny Green. It was just his contact, you know. But I tell you what, man, when he went down, did you see the look on Steph Curry's face?
Yeah, I did.
The look on Steph Curry's face
Defeat.
was defeat and fury and frustration because I mean when
How could it not?
you know what happened when KD went down? He felt bad for a brother dropped
Yeah.
in the trenches and he was stood up with his Splash Brother
Brother.
yeah, right.
Right.
Anyway, and man, I mean, he and Klay Thompson just tore it up. But as soon as Klay went down, that was the backup that Steph knew that he needed in order to get past.
That was
Toronto.
proven in a couple of games
Yeah.
before in this in this series, yeah.
Yeah.
Without Clay,
And-
they couldn't do anything, and,
Yeah.
and Steph had 47 points in a game, and,
So
and
I'd
lost,
like to
you know?
and they
propose. I'd
lost,
like to
yeah.
propose a couple of questions to the panel and get what
Here
you
we
guys
go.
think about this stuff.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So, first of all, how do you? I got a couple of different questions, so I'll do my best. To
Fantastic.
stay efficient.
Here we
So,
go.
so how do you feel about the KD decision? To put
I
him
think
in?
it's fine.
All right.
I think it's a good decision. I think the guy was healthy enough to play. The guy practiced. It was a separate injury, and that happened. This other injury happened. Maybe it happened because he wasn't really 100%. Maybe not. But at the end of the day, you got to put in your winners. And KD obviously made a difference. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. How is Kevin Durant the man for this team to make a difference? And I believe he proved it. And even in his
absolutely.
11 minutes of play, as you just said, he turned it around and made that team think that they can win any game as
Right.
long as he's available and can step out on that court and do something
Right.
for 11 minutes.
I
you know?
totally agree. I mean,
and then like you said, with Steph Curry, he's riding a high coming in. Then the game 6, then you lose your other
God.
your one of your
It's his right-hand
one
man.
of the best 5 or 6 players, 7 players in the league,
Yeah.
or shooters anyway in the league. And then you lose him, and
That's
what
tough.
are you left with? You're left with a bunch of tall white
Well,
guys and
well,
Draymond
and-
Green,
and he-
and it's hard to come back
you
from
still
that.
you still had Iggy Iguodala.
Well, I mean,
and
here's-
that's a good point.
Here's
You're
the
right,
here's the
but,
thing. I
man,
mean,
that's hard.
Steph nearly bit through his mouthpiece when he saw what happened because he was so mad. I mean, you could see it in his eyes immediately. I mean, and then even then toward the very end of Game 6, Steph still came this close to winning the game on that 3. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
If he had drained that 3, which was pretty close.
Yeah, it was
If he had
close.
drained that 3, we'd be having a totally different conversation right now.
The reaction I think was funniest when they showed everyone reacting when he actually missed it because everyone thought that's for sure.
everyone
going in.
everyone knew.
It's
Yeah.
for sure going in. It's Steph Curry.
Steph
yeah.
Curry's going to come in and save the day for the Warriors like he always
Yeah.
does, but it was too much. You know why? Because look at that defense in Toronto, man.
If-
I mean,
if-
they were able to make Steph Curry try to do something difficult with every time he had the ball in his hands.
They did cover him pretty damn good. They were 2 men on him all the time. That's why there was the open guy.
Well,
all
I mean,
you know.
without
With
KD
Thompson,
and
that's
without
why
Clay
Thompson
on the
was
court,
open
you could
Yeah.
triple team the
So,
guy.
so let me ask you this. Which was a bigger blow, and I'm not talking about morale here, but which was a bigger blow to their ability to play the game? Kevin Durant or Klay Thompson going
Klay
down?
Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
All day.
3-point shooter.
And you know what's crazy?
100% because they had Clay the entire series.
Exactly.
They've
They
been
were used
counting
to
on
playing
Clay.
with that.
Yeah. KD was like a bonus, and like he came in and he ripped it
Yeah.
up, and then he was gone in 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a flash in the pan.
Over the course
I mean,
of the year, KD.
Yeah,
all day,
for sure,
but
KD.
Yeah.
I mean, KD was. I mean, he's had an amazing 3 years in Golden State. Amazing 3 years.
What are the next? What's the next year or two going to look like for Golden State? When you got Klay Thompson's going to be down for a while. Kevin
Well,
Durant's going to come back eventually.
I
He might
will-
not ever be the same.
There we
Are
go.
they
I
either
bet he
going to
never
be
I,
Warriors?
I will say real quick that the Golden State Warriors GM Bob Myers, who cried by the way after the thing happened with Kevin Durant because he felt like maybe that there was pressure on KD to get into that game. Don't worry about it. Everybody, he's a Warrior, and we all kind of called it. I remember I called it before. I said if this was a game, if this was an elimination game, KD would be in there. Because
Right.
we all kind of felt like
You're right.
he could play.
And
And
it
if it was an
yeah.
elimination game, he would be in there. And sure
it's
enough,
up to him.
on an elimination
Yeah.
game, he got in there.
Right.
And you
And
know,
it was up to him. If he didn't think he was ready, he wouldn't have gone. I mean,
But-
you'd be stupid too.
You're right.
Absolutely.
so but Bob Myers, the GM, he stated that he remains confident that he will retain both Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant
Said
in this
max
offseason.
Really?
contracts.
Yep.
Max
Wow.
contracts. That's awesome
Yeah, I don't
for
think
a
that's gonna
team.
happen.
Right
Well,
now,
let's keep in mind KD has a player option, and he might exercise it depending on his rehab.
Yeah, that's what they're
Because
saying.
if not,
What's
he.
max contract? 5 year, $200 million, something like that. These days?
I think
It's
it's
something silly.
there's some weird stuff about the team.
They
that
also have a
drafted you
super
and
max
stuff, like
contract.
the super max you can
Oh,
get
right.
like if you stayed, or if you're restricted, or if you stayed with the team that drafted you, you get super max or
There's
something
still
like that.
salary cap you got to
Yeah.
play, man. There's
Good.
still one of those.
But anyway,
guys that-
I think it's going to be interesting to see KD's rehab because he has that player option. That's going to be interesting.
So answer me this.
right.
I think it's fair to say that if you got Steph Curry on the team, you're going to the playoffs. Steph Curry's
Yeah.
going to be there. What do you think the Golden State Warriors look like next year? It's tough.
I put him in the 3 or 4. 3 if everybody's back healthy, I put him right back.
No,
at the
there's
top.
no way.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
if
Yeah.
I think that these are two brutal injuries, and they're going to take a long rehab. I think you can't deny Steph, and I don't think you can
Right.
deny Steve
Any-
Kerr's
anymore-
coaching.
Anymore, Achilles is a full season or a
Yeah.
full year.
It's a year.
And,
Yeah.
and an
And so the
ACL
ACL is
is
the same thing.
9
It's
months
10
at
months.
least.
Yeah.
10 months.
So
they're saying.
I put him in the 3 or 4 seed probably.
So-
because they're going to make some moves. They're
I
going.
mean, they're gonna-
Steve
they're gonna
Kerr
pick up
knows how to
somebody.
coach.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Steve Kerr does know how to coach.
They're going to mix and match and plug some guys in, and they'll have an excellent run. I think they'll still be middle of the road, if not
Was
better.
Steve Kerr on every team with Michael Jordan?
That's the only team I know he played for.
No,
I
but
don't-
was he the first 3 and the second 3 championship?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I don't think he was on the first 3. Was he? I don't
He's
know.
Old
Wait here,
man.
let
I don't know.
me keep driving the NBA ship real quick and keep us moving for a second because
That was
because
NBA.
well no I understand of course brother Tony, you're doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
So
Love you, Tony.
So here's the thing. I'd like to bring up a little fun fact here.
Let's
Here we
hear
go.
it.
Fun facts.
The only player on that team right now signed through 2021 is Steph Curry. That's the only player.
It's the only one they
That's
need.
true. That's true.
And so through
that
through
just
2020, we're going to be looking at a team trying to figure out what the hell happens in 2021 and how do you sign everybody? How do you pull that off?
Can't.
That's gonna be tricky. So anyway, moving right along. So as we look forward, Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen,
Vegas.
has decided that the fucking Lakers are the favorites to win the championship.
No, they did not.
no,
No, they
no.
did not.
Las Vegas.
way.
No, they
Las-
did not.
Look it up. Look
They're
it up.
trying to
Las-
get all the
I believe
damn
it.
money.
Look,
that
look,
they're doing.
look
What
it
the
up.
fuck?
Las Vegas is giving the Lakers
I am
4 to
looking
1
it up.
odds.
You're full of shit.
You're talking about the
Look it
Los
up.
Angeles Lakers that finished.
The Los Angeles Lakers are given
Wow.
the leading odds.
Oh,
by
I get it
Vegas.
because they think that they're gonna
They're
kill it in
get
free
Anthony
agency.
Davis,
Yeah,
they're gonna get-
They're not,
there's
no.
talk of Kyrie coming back there. They're
no
coming,
way.
going
Way
there to
Kyrie's
play.
playing with
So-
them.
That's what I'm
No
saying.
way,
I
no
don't
way.
see it.
So here's
They
the
don't
thing.
give
Here's the thing.
anybody.
Everybody who's paying attention, except Jack, because he's not 21 and it's not okay for him to gamble.
It's not okay, Jack.
Not okay. It's okay for us to gamble.
Actually, I
though,
think
because,
it is.
because we are older than you, which means that we're allowed to be degenerates.
No
think it's
sex
18
out of
or
no
not.
sex out of wedlock
Go-
either, Jack.
What you
No sex out of wedlock.
Wow.
right,
Words
so-
of wisdom by
so
Cyrus
everybody,
Marsh.
everybody, place a bet on every fucking single team in the top 5 that's not the Los Angeles Lakers. Place a bet on all of them because you're
Yeah.
going to get great odds. One
you
of them's
are.
going to win it.
And I think that's a great segue into the NHL.
Shabam!
There we go.
Bam.
Yeah.
The St. Louis Blues are your Stanley Cup champion, ladies and
Dude.
gentlemen.
We called it
Awesome.
here. We called it.
And
We
they
called
and
it.
they
And
were
homeboy won $100,000 on
Yes.
that December
And-
bet, man.
And he
well
made
played,
a bet.
sir.
He
Well
he
played.
made a
$20.
bet. 2,500
Hank lost some
plus
money.
2,500 on a $400 bet paid him $100,000.
Nice.
I don't want to talk
bet.
about this at all.
He
Yes,
made
we
that
do.
bet when St. Louis was in last place
Yeah. It's
in
amazing.
January.
It was
Yeah.
actually a $250 bet at 400 to 1.
Whatever.
That's you bet
Still,
Whatever.
a little bit, but yeah.
It's an under $500 bet that made him $100,000.
Insane. Well played, sir. Well played. I hope you're
And
enjoying
I would like
your
to.
summer.
I would like
I
to
hope he goes
point
to
out
Vegas.
that I
Yeah.
also
Makes a bet on not the Lakers.
I also squared up with Hank because I made excellent bets.
Well,
Yeah,
squared
that-
up more. Actually, there was no money exchange. You just got back to zero,
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
Woo,
My
way to go.
my ledger is at 0.
Way to win.
And I don't know where Xavier is, but thank you for making me have to make
I still
those
can't
moves.
believe that. I can't believe that this bet. I can't believe I milked that bet for this long. You know what that means? We need to make another bet. Well, we got plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
so,
We got lots of
Let's talk about the St. Louis Blues real quick. Wow.
Yeah.
Coming from last place and winning the Stanley Cup
Right?
championship.
Worst to first.
And home
That's
ice in
great.
the
Worst to
finals
first.
didn't mean shit.
No,
And this
man.
is crazy. Going back to that guy that made that bet. They came out. St. Louis got pumped big time in the first game. Boston just looked like they were going to kill
Yeah,
them.
I thought it was-
And that was at Boston Garden or TD Garden, whatever they call it. And everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, Boston's going to run away with this. It's done." Blah blah. And even Xavier, he came out of the fucking woodworks. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take that bet now." After game 1, he wanted to
Yeah,
bet me.
exactly.
And I was like, "Okay, fine." Of
course.
So another time that anyway. So St. Louis comes back. They win game 2. All right, you got your split. All right, you
And
go
what's
back
the game?
home with a
Yep.
split. St. Louis was a road dog on this because they went back to St. Louis. They lost that
What
first
did they go
game.
back to Philadelphia?
They went back to St. Louis and they lost that first game, and then they won the second game. So 2-2 coming back to Boston, and then they win the game in Boston, 3-2. Or it's a 3-2 series,
Yep.
and everybody's like, "All right, St. Louis." Well, then
Oh, my.
Boston comes out on
Oh,
St. Louis's home ice
buddy.
and pumps them bad.
Yeah,
And everybody's like, "All right, Boston's back, and it's a game 7 in Boston.
In
Like you
Boston.
can't
That's
make
huge.
this shit up. Like it's
You really
it's like,
can't.
Be careful.
Hey, who stuck to their guns? This guy.
That's right.
I
So-
said St. Louis is still gonna take it.
Yep.
Can I talk about real quick a shameless pump?
What's it?
A
What is
truly
it?
shameless pump. Even more shameless than the Blues doing it dirty to the Bruins like that. I bet you the Blues probably played more games this series than any other team. Anyway,
Thank
hey
you,
Scott, hey Scott, give everybody a quick, or give me a high five, and let's have Chef tell everybody about. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Okay, hey guys, Scott's the fucking man. But tell you what,
Scotty doesn't know.
no, he knows, dude. So Chef, tell us about what we got here, man. What do we
Oh, it
got?
looks like a little slider quad we have going here.
Way to dig
Little
into the
poutine
platitudes on that
slider.
one.
Man, I love sliders.
Little gator slider, maybe. Looks like some pulled pork Korean barbecue style.
Looks
and
pretty good.
And maybe a Cubano slider. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what's
there we
going
go.
on down there.
Ooh,
at the
let's
end,
take
but
these
yeah,
shots.
Maybe some bacon cheeseburger, yeah. And
right.
the Starfucker.
Thank you for
Might be
whoever sent us these shots.
Ladies and gents, here's I guess us. How
Episode
about that?
19.
19.
Episode 19. Here's to our producer Jeremy. Yeah, here we go. And especially here's to Scott. Cheers,
Salute.
brother.
Anyway, it's a great day. Boston lost. St. Louis won. And Brett Hall, ultimate St. Louis Blue legend, just wasted on the interviews, just talking shit on live TV.
Really? You're kidding.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Just a
that's
Blues
great.
legend just being like, "Woo!
That's awesome.
Boston, you suck." Like flipping off
Was
the
he
Boston
host-
Bruins
was he
on live
hosting a
TV.
show,
That's
or
fantastic.
Was
No,
Just
he's
a
just a
guest
Blues
on
legend,
there.
and they had him out there interviewing people.
Okay.
Like, it was
Right,
awesome.
he's
He's flipping
recognizing.
people off on the glass like Boston
That's
people.
awesome.
Like,
Hey, Cyrus, check this out. You'll get a kick out of the stat.
yeah, let's hear it.
Guess how many games the Blues played throughout that series? Guess.
The series, I'd say they played 7.
I would too.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm going to go with 7.
Maybe the playoffs.
My bad.
Yeah,
That's, I just took a shot. You
The
can't blame
entire
me.
playoffs?
No,
I
the entire
mean,
playoffs.
Let's see. They probably played
20.
no 26.
26. They played 26.
Yeah, because they went 7 in almost every series.
I mean,
That's
think
crazy.
about the endurance that it takes to go
Yeah.
26 games and
Yeah.
still win the cup.
yeah.
They did it on
And,
purpose.
hey,
That was their strategy
and
that's
to wear you
incredible.
down.
Yeah, no, and it's even
Where-
more
where else?
incredible that they came from last place, and they were doing it for this girl Layla or whatever, battling cancer, and they had her out there. She was like their mascot, and it was incredible. Like they
What,
let
they,
her
like,
hoist
stuff
the
her?
Stanley Cup on
That's
the
awesome.
ice. Like
Nice.
That's
yeah,
so cool.
like it was
That is
it was
really
it was
cool.
crazy. And Ryan O'Reilly wins the MVP. That guy deserves it. He was the heart and soul. Jordan Binnington, rookie
I was going to
goalie.
say, how did he not
Yeah,
get it?
Jordan
That guy-
Binnington, rookie goalie.
That guy
Hey,
was a
I'm good.
walrus
I just
in
ate
goal,
thinking.
man. I mean, I'm
he
trying to
stood
steal
on
that
his. I'm
from
good
those
right
guys.
now. I'll eat one in a second.
Yeah.
He stood on his head. He made that last game 7. That was Jordan Binnington's game. He stood on his head. They didn't get a goal until garbage time. It was pretty much a 4-0 shellacking by the St. Louis
And even
Blues.
then, that was the absolute perfect shot. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys got to see it or not.
Yeah,
but
it was
if you get
beauty.
to, look it up. It hit the metal in the 90 degrees.
Yeah,
It would
right-
have been
right
a
in-
half
right in
inch
the elbow.
difference. It would have been out.
Not-
Yeah,
that
they
was
call,
like an upper
they
night.
call that bar down. When you
Yeah.
go bar down on
It
a goalie
was
because you
freaking
just
ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's beautiful. And one more thing I want to bring up, and I will give some love to Boston. Zdeno Chara, God damn it, you're a warrior.
Yeah, he's a warrior.
And I
He's
What
a
an
man.
animal.
I posted this to our website. By the way, we have a Facebook page now. In case you haven't noticed, we're getting
on
more
the Facebook
we're getting
page.
more official by the
yours.
by the episode. This
I
is
moved it over
episode
closer
19,
to
and
that.
now we finally have a Facebook page. So anyway, tune into that. We'll keep tabs on us.
Yeah, buddy.
But anyways, Zdeno Chara, absolute warrior. He had a, jaw wired shut like we talked about last thing, and
Radical.
3 games. 3 games he was playing in the Stanley Cup Finals with a broken jaw, fractured in like multiple places, wired shut. Can only drink his food, and he's playing in the Stanley Cup Finals, taking hits.
And
if
not
you
holding
watch
back. Yeah,
yeah,
not
if you
holding back.
watch like those last 3 games, he was hitting and taking hits, and you could see like every time he got hit up high. I mean, the dude's 6'9". It's hard to hit him up high, but every time he was wincing, and he would like just keep playing.
Why? Because his face is broken?
Yeah, and they're juicing him up. They're hitting him with cortisone and all kinds of
I don't know
painkillers.
about that. That
But
may not
I
be
mean,
any opioids
it's
involved.
it's
We're not sure.
insane still. Nonetheless, can you imagine? I mean, if I have a broken jaw, I'm laying in bed for weeks. I'm
Damn
not.
right.
I'm not playing at the highest level of the fastest, hardest hitting sport in the game. Like I'm not doing it. This guy is a warrior. I hate Boston. I love Zdeno Chara. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Xavier.
That's fair.
Right there with you.
That
That's
guy's a
perfectly
man.
fair.
Yeah, the guy's a man.
So anyway, that's all I got on the NHL. You guys wanted our championship week?
Championship week.
Well,
Championship
I mean,
week is legit.
It's still championship week because it's
No,
the U.S.
no,
Open
no,
going
no.
on right now.
Well, here, actually, tell you what. Hey,
That's-
Cyrus, can I show the Kawhi Cactus video real quick?
Yeah. Go
Hey,
for it.
hey, Jeremy, is that thing plugged in? That video?
The fuck did you do that?
The cactus video. Let's see. All right, ladies and gents, as we are continually improving the operation and production of this thing, we are going to work on real quick. Oh, it's on? All right, so right now you can see this dude.
Plant, man. Where'd you get that? It's a housewarming gift for
As you're
Kawhi.
watching, just watch it.
Oh,
It's a
stay.
Kawhi cactus.
Does he know this yet?
I'm
waiting for him. I'm waiting. Have you seen him?
I mean,
I haven't seen him yet. I think he's somewhere in Oakland right now, celebrating his butt
so
off.
the guy is basically welcoming.
Well, when you
Kawhi
see him,
to
tell him I got a
stay.
housewarming gift. Tell him I love him. I will. What kind of plant is that? Tell him thank you for the shot. What kind of plant is that?
I think the guy.
It's a plant
I
for
think you
Kawhi.
get-
It's a Kawhi plant.
Well, he called it a
Kawhi
cactus.
cactus.
Have a good night, man. Coactus. I like it. Plant guy says it's a coactus. I think plant guy.
I think he had a
I
few
think he's-
Chardonnays.
Yeah, what of it? You
What
know?
of it,
I mean,
you know?
there he
A
is.
batter,
Look
too.
at
Maybe it was the
It's just
bats.
so funny. All right, anyway, I'm done. Sorry.
That's great.
It's hilarious.
Fantastic. I love the Kawhi cactus.
Definitely fantastic.
Yeah. All
That's a
right.
fan right
So,
there.
what
Who's
do
never
you-
seen a
what do we
pump
got
shit.
going on the Pebble Beach U.S. Open, boys?
Thank you,
What's
Jake.
going on?
Appreciate that.
It is U.S. Open
Hey, Jack.
week, by
Thank
the
you,
way. Always fun to watch. We've got a person. I'm not going to say no name because that would be rude, but it's a guy that not many people have heard.
I don't know who this
Woodland,
motherfucker
Right?
is.
Woodland.
Gary Woodland,
Woodland, yeah, Woodland.
which
You
we
don't even know his
should.
name.
We should.
Yeah, who
believe
the
it or
fuck is
not,
it's
he's-
golf? We're only supposed to know Tiger Woods. That's the only
Right.
name you need to know.
The last 4 majors, he's
kidding.
actually been like number 10, number 11, right? So he's
He's
there,
there, he's
but
there.
he's not. He's not
making
top.
money.
He's
Yeah,
there-ish.
He's making money. Let's put it that way.
Justin Rose is right behind him. That guy's he's been in the
Right?
limelight
Justin Rose,
before.
England. I did
Rory's
not
Rory's
expect
not
that.
far off. Rory's
We
not
still
far
have,
off.
what, 8 guys yet to tee off today?
Yeah,
So
yeah, right. Brooks is up there. My guy. You know.
Kopka.
anybody making
Kaka.
a real run today? Looks like Danny Willett's 3 under.
And the
That's
guy's
about
making
it.
moves. There's 2 unders about the best out there right
Yep.
now on course anyway.
So what have you guys seen? Anything surprised you from this
Well,
Pebble, this
Tiger-
U.S.
yes.
Open?
Tiger
Tiger
should have left
Woods.
his putter at home and maybe just used his
Yeah.
foot.
Hey, I heard
Because
one of you guys
he
say
can't
that
make
Tiger
shit.
putt like a bunch today.
He,
Or this-
yesterday,
Yesterday.
there were really 2
Yesterday.
guys on the course that putted more often than
Yes.
he did.
32.
That's
He had
crazy.
32 putts on 18 holes. That to
So-
me does not
Isn't he
equate
known
to a title.
Isn't he known as like one of the strongest putters?
he has been,
all right. So this is why I'm feeling confident about Tiger going in further in because I mean, look at the guy. I mean, he had what did it say? It was either 26 or 29 pars straight. I can't remember what it was, but and then he bogey for the last 2 holes. And so the guy is, I mean, he's landing, he's driving himself into the fringe or into the rough. He's managing to put that ball right on the green out of that difficult position. And then
you're not going to get your predictive win this week.
Oh, I know.
He's not. He can't putt.
I had one good streak of wins, and it ended at the bet with Xavier that bought me 3 more losses.
Because you bet with Xavier.
Well, I bet against Xavier.
Well, either way.
Well, I bet against Cyrus
It
on
involved
Xavier.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey, I knew what I was doing, apparently.
I think Tiger's going to – I think
For those of you
bring that up,
out there that don't know Xavier,
All right,
just
let me
give
bring
it
up
some
one
time.
before you do that.
if Tiger can keep landing on the green and he can get his putter straight, I think he's got a chance.
He does, but he has a chance in every tournament anyway until he's 50 years old, and he has a chance to win every senior tournament.
Well, he made the
ever.
cut. I mean, he's
But
he's
I'm just
working his
saying,
way.
He has, and it's
What is
not,
he? He's even, right? He's even.
He may be one
He's
over
one
right
under?
now. He's
Oh,
one under,
we're
one
like-
over.
we're
He's
like- it was-
he's back and forth. He's bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie,
Yeah,
par
yeah,
all
yeah.
day long.
Why is it
So,
this guy can bet on the Blues 200-1 or something, and I can't bet on Tiger, and he's Tiger Woods?
I know, man.
Hey, I bet on Rory and JD, and I think they're
JD's
right next
not
to each
doing
other.
too
They're
much.
a couple
but
under, but the leader's at 9 under,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
hard to catch.
We'll see.
All right, not JD, DJ,
Unless Woodland
DJ.
comes
DJ.
back.
Justin Johnson. I'm
Yep.
out.
Unless
exactly.
Justin Rose and
Dustin's
Woodland come back,
not doing
nobody's
great.
really going to, McElroy had a hell of a day yesterday.
glad
I
to
just
see
love
Brooks.
betting on shit. Speaking of Tony, how did you do in Vegas? Did we ever discuss
Oh, I
that?
came
He
back
never
with.
placed my damn bets.
Well, no, I didn't place your bets, but I also came
Yeah.
back with.
Oh, yeah. All the sports books were closed.
I also came back with negative $16.78. So there's that.
Wait, you even put it down to the change?
I brought Bob 4 cents back.
Tony
didn't give me
successfully
4 cents.
lost all Bob's
I'm
money
saving that
and
'cause
then
it's coming.
neglected to bet our money.
Well, first
Tony,
of
we
all,
have a sports TV
First
show.
of all, the Palms book was closed. Second of all, I didn't go to fucking Caesars. Third of all, everybody out there said just bet online. That's what we all do.
Tony's
So
turning red.
they
Tony's
gave me the
turning
out.
red. Everybody
turning
watch
red.
out.
Yeah, look at it.
Tony's turning red. Watch out.
But for real, fuck Vegas for sports betting. It's a pain in my ass.
Have you guys ever seen that kids movie Inside Out? This is the guy that's that
I don't even know what you're referring to, but fuck you too.
See, now you're dating yourself because you're too far before what happened.
Oh, that's that.
All right. Hey, getting back to the U.S. Open.
Let's talk about it,
so-
Bob.
Right.
Let's keep us on the rails here.
Let's keep it going. All right.
Well, then I'm going to open up a beer.
One of the things you guys missed on Thursday, Jordan Spieth on the 14th hole.
Love a Spieth.
Right? We all thought he was going to do it. Anyway, he tees off. Everybody hits an iron on this because it's one of those holes where the ocean cuts the fairway in half. So you have to lay up. You can't hit a driver. He hits an iron, and it rolls into the water.
Hell yeah.
Right? It was a great shot. Don't get me wrong. It was awesome. It fucking hit. It bounced. It rolled. Everybody else has stopped. I don't know if you put top spin on it or what happened, but it hit the wrong spot, hard spot. So he drops at the drop area. He talks to his caddy, 160 yards. They all agree it's 160 yards. I think we know it's 160 yards.
Okay.
Flies the green. Immediately berates his caddy. Nice. And here's the quote, by the way. 2 perfect shots, Michael. 2 perfect shots. One lands me in the water, second flies the green.
So
Well,
wait, so this is a
he's blaming his
this is
caddy.
a professional golfer we're talking about.
Yes.
Jordan Spieth's no slouch.
Exactly.
This
We
is
know
the,
who
this
he
is the
is.
boy from Texas, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's no slouch. He's blaming his caddy for the caddy's advice
For his shot.
costing him 2
Yeah,
shots.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So whose fault is it, really, Jordan? Come
Obviously-
on, damn it.
let's be
You're the
real
one
here.
Swinging.
Let's
Were
just
you
caddy.
juiced?
It's obviously the caddy's
always
fault.
the
It's
caddy.
got to be the caddy's fault.
Can't
But
be my
that's why
fault.
they get paid. They get paid
Yeah.
to take the
No,
blame.
that's
No,
why
you-
millennials suck ass.
Yeah, let's
Whoa,
let's
whoa, whoa, whoa.
let's
whoa.
let,
No,
let's
no,
Oh,
no,
sorry,
millennial.
you're a millennial. I'm sorry.
Let's,
sorry.
well, Hank's more of a millennial.
You both
than I
are.
am, but-
more of a millennial. It's a yes or no thing. They're also a millennial.
Well, they keep moving the year back,
Oh,
so
no,
now all of a sudden I'm a millennial.
All right.
It wasn't my fault. It was somebody else's. I'm not the one who
damn sure
shanked the
ain't.
fucking shot.
I want to get
Man.
serious here for a second.
Get
So look,
serious.
this is why it's the caddy's
Ooh,
fault.
turn the lights down
So I know.
low.
Yeah, explain to me why it's the
So,
caddy.
so this is the caddy's fault because his name is Jordan Spieth. If it's Spieth or Spieth,
Love Jordan
Spieth, Jordan Spieth always is right. If he's ever wrong, it's his caddy's fault. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
If your name is Jordan Spieth, you get to blame the damn caddy.
Sounds like when I'm having a conversation with my wife.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding, by the way.
sorta.
I think it's a crock of shit. the
Honestly,
caddy.
a caddy golfer relationship
Right.
is much like a wife.
It is.
husband
It is.
relationship. but
that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of similar, right? If I get,
It definitely is.
if I make a
you spend
mistake
enough time
and
with
it's
your
something
caddy
that like
as
you're
much as you do with your wife, it's
How about
definitely
this?
a
Okay,
right,
similar.
and in
Can
the
we ask
heat
the
of
viewers? Can we ask the viewers? So tell me this. Tell me this.
Aside from
Wait a
the
minute.
sex,
How do I ask this question and not get Cyrus in trouble?
well,
I don't know.
no, this is what I was gonna say.
No,
If
no,
I'm
no.
pissed off,
I
and
would
something
shut
in
up
the
right
heat of
now
the
if I
moment,
were you.
something
Hannah,
happens.
I love you, Hannah.
because it's also
I love
your
you, Hannah.
sister, Hank.
No, but this was his longtime caddy. It's not like this is the guy who got randomly picked. I mean, it's his longtime
so,
caddy.
I mean, you do the
Michael
same
Correller.
thing.
He's been with him for years. When he was winning all those tournaments, it's the same guy
Brilliant,
giving him
Michael.
the same
You-
advice.
brilliant.
You would do the same thing to your best friend. If your best
So,
friend
yeah.
gave you shitty advice, you'd be like, "What the fuck? That was your fault."
That's right.
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment, you'd be like, "Dude,
But
that was fucked up.
Hang on a
Why'd you
second,
tell
hang
me
on a
to
second.
do that?"
If it's his fault, then he should have been the one golfing. You
No,
know what?
you're
It was
right.
it was Jordan Spieth's fault because he took advice and he did it the wrong way.
Because
I-
Jordan
no, no,
Spieth,
no.
because Jordan Spieth is the one who gets paid to golf. That's why.
Yes, I'm with you there.
Let's fucking go.
There you go.
He's the one that gets paid to golf. The caddy gets paid
Right.
to caddy. He gets paid to carry the clubs and guide, give advice. You take it if you want it.
Offer
He-
his wisdom.
He's the
not,
golfer.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
golfing for him.
Yeah.
He gives advice, right? Isn't that what a caddy does?
Yeah.
Carry
I'm
the
not swinging
fucking
the
clubs
glove.
and give
I'm not swinging
advice?
the gloves.
Yeah,
I'm
what-
carrying
what-
the fucking gloves. I'm a
you-
camel, goddammit.
You guys are gonna love this. What did Trump say one time? The buck stops with me, and then later on that week he said, "No,
shit.
the buck stops with that guy. It's that guy's fault."
I thought we agreed to never talk Trump on this show.
I said bump. I said
Oh, all
squump.
right. Trump,
Yeah,
and by
yeah,
Trump I mean,
yeah.
and by Trump I meant all politics, not
Yes,
specifically
we do
Trump.
not talk
I'm joking.
politics
I didn't
on
actually
this
say any of that.
because you guys are all wrong. So, all right. So anyway, that's my U.S. Open thing. So I think we ought to move on. That's last week.
Yeah, I mean, we still have the U.S. Open going
Now
on.
it's this
they're,
week.
They're playing right
Right.
now. Somebody looks like they're hitting off rocks. It
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
a bad deal.
Anyway,
Let's move
anyway.
on.
Who the
But
hell is Gary Woodland?
Hey, guess what's happening this week? NBA draft.
That's
Oh.
right. That's right.
Ooh, and
draft.
the NHL draft.
It's that this week as well.
It's Friday, June 21st.
Damn. There'll be some Minnesota people drafted this week.